Hi, it's Nick Berry here. We're at our Lonsdale factory, the C Terminator headquarters, and I just wanted to talk about our Pro 1000 machine, which fits to the CLAAS Lexion 87, 88 and 8900 machines. So this Pro platform is tucked in under the back of the sieve. We've got really high ground clearance, compact mills, AeroIMPACT 4 mills, high capacity machine. We've got Serpentine drives on both the side drive and underneath the Terminator. This machine has been operating for a few seasons now, and we're really excited with the performance of this Terminator. We've been fitting to Lexion combines since 2018, and it's been a really good platform for terminating. And the key difference on these machines compared to a lot of other combines is that the straw and the chaff are completely separate. So the straw goes through the rotors and right out to the chopper and falls down. So there's no chance of really long pieces of straw ending up on the sieve and in the Terminator where they use excess power and really make it a hard job terminating. So keeping that straw out of the Terminator is kind of a key feature of having the CLAAS combine and a Terminator together. And I guess what's happened over time is these machines have been improved into the 1000 series and have got a lot more horsepower behind them. So the capacity of these combines is getting crazy, and really we needed a major product update to be able to handle the power and the capacity of these machines. The first thing really was about the mill technology. So we're running our AeroIMPACT 4 mills. These are actually a smaller diameter mill, but they spin a bit faster. They do 3150 RPM instead of 2950. There's less clearance between the stationary screens and the rotor, so the material is actually moving more of the time. There's less dwell time, so the material moves through the mill faster. And then on the outside, there's a set of scrapers which keep the housing clean. So any green material is actually exiting all the time out of those mills. So the key first thing was really having a mill that can handle the capacity of these massive combines and still kill the weeds, and also handle greener, tougher conditions. The second really key thing was to improve belt capacity. So to do that, the key thing that we've done is gone to a single serpentine belt underneath and also on the side. And what that means is on the side, we actually run a single belt around the chopper, around this tight side idler and around the Terminator. So we've actually got connected in the same belt drive the chopper and the Terminator, which means that the power and the inertia of the chopper is in line with the power and the inertia of the Terminator. And what seems to happen is, because these parts are high inertia components, they actually help each other when one's loaded more than the other. So the chopper is quite a pulsating load. The Terminator has a lot of inertia and momentum, and that pulsating load is smoothed out by the Terminator's momentum. So what we end up with is a drive that performs much better than two belts individually. Similarly, under the Terminator, we have our left and right mills that are connected with one belt drive, and that we have shared momentum between those mills, and we end up with a lot more capacity in that belt drive, because if one's loaded more than the other, or if there's a pulsating load, we end up sharing and smoothing that load out. We've also improved the access to the mills and the ability to get into the back of the machine. We've removed the side cover here, but these just simply twist off with a latch in the middle. I'm actually doing it from the wrong side, but if you twist that, simply as that, and then we're out. Really simple chute, and then we're actually in and we've got full access. We can replace parts. So if you need to replace a screen, you can. All you have to do is remove that side cover, remove that chute, and the 6 bolts actually now that's what holds the screen in, so you're in and out in no time. We've also found though that with these AeroIMPACT 4 mills, we've gone to 10 millimeters, so they're actually lasting a long time, and now rotors screens and flails are wearing at similar rates. So much less likely to be replacing multiple screens for the same rotor. More likely you're going to be doing a service every few years where you replace the whole lot. So even though it's really easy to get to, you won't need to get in there as often. I guess one other thing to note is what's different about how we're distributing the chaff. The processed chaff is now distributing onto this tailboard. So we're now pushing the chaff out underneath the straw, and that's reducing the amount of dust that's swirling around and getting back into the radiator or the air filter. So we're reducing the amount of dust that ends up all over the machine and into the engine bay. So that's sitting underneath the straw. We don't get quite the spread that we used to when we pushed out to the side, but what we're finding is a lot of that dust tends to blow around and even out in the wind anyway, and more of an issue is getting dust back into the engine bay. So we think that this is a better approach for the performance of harvest. The other thing to note is to do a bypass on this machine, we can put these plates back in on top of the mill, just like that. And then material's not going in there, so if you want to reconnect the Terminator, it's much simpler to, you're not filling up that chaff tray. So we can pop these on and do a grain loss test. There is actually an extended tray, so we can do a longer operating without the machine. What we're finding though is the customers, we're having a hard time convincing them to turn it off because it's just not affecting their capacity like the older machines used to. So you know, our customers really don't buy this thing to bypass it, and they want to operate. So if it's not holding them up, they want to just use it. So we're terminating more hectares. It's all good news. As part of making the Terminator easier to live with, we've introduced a few features that will make maintenance a lot easier. So we've actually introduced the grease lines from the auto greaser onto the two tensioners in this system. So there's one underneath the Terminator and one on the side drive, and you can see here how this is being automatically greased. So there's zero maintenance on that. And then in terms of, basically we just need to keep the tension of the side drive and the underneath drive up to the tension marks. And on the Pro platform, you can do that without climbing under the machine. So you literally just look at the tension on the side here, make sure that washer is in the line with the notch to show the washer position. And you'll need to check that a few times on the first few days because the belt does take, it does fit into the grooves of the pulleys in those first few days, and then after a while it will settle down and won't need to be tensioned quite as regularly. Similarly with this side drive, this one hasn't been tensioned up, but it will be up to the cover plate there as per the original OEM design. So we just need to keep on top of those tensions and the greasing will take care of itself. And that's pretty well it. The machines keep up, the belt's got the capacity, the mills have got the capacity, and you just need to operate the machine as per normal. And that's our Pro platform on the CLAAS Pro 1000.